Okay, have a calculator ready. Going to need it. So, okay. Um, sorry, my tablet's not hooked up. How much interest it earns 7 years on the investment? It doesn't tell you anything about compounding, so this is simple interest. Again, a lot of these questions, just a matter of you plugging it in. So, what do we have here? 12,000 is our principal. The rate is 0.0435 and the time is 7 years. So, simple interest, 12,000 times 0.0435, which I forgot, times 7, and our answer, there's a 5 there. 0.0435 times 7 equals 3,654. Okay, straightforward. Tim is selling his old PlayStation. He's giving a 73% discount to the buyer that shows up, to the first buyer that shows up. Write an expression using P, price of the PS3 that just shows the price of the PS3 after the discount. Okay, so a little bit worry there, forgive me. So let's think about this for a second. So right now, the PlayStation costs P dollars, whatever it is, $100, $200, doesn't matter. You're going, because it's pretty old, you're going to get a 73% discount. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 73. So all that is being taken away. Okay, this is your discount. And this is how much the buyer pays. So now you got to figure out which one do you want. The buyer is going to pay for 27%, and the discount is 73. So let's have that separated for a second. It says write an expression that shows the price of the PlayStation after discount. So if they take all that away, this is what they're asking for. How much are you going to pay? So let's say you're the first person that shows up to buy the PlayStation. And yeah, I'm just going to write it a little bit better. And that's what you're paying for, 27% of that original price. So they took all that away, and you're left with 27%. So you're going to multiply the price of the PlayStation, whatever that is, times 0.27. And this is your expression. Okay, and that's how much you would pay, whatever that is, whatever they came out to. Okay. I like the bar models. I think they help. I don't think there are too many fans there. Let's say, so Kim is buying volleyball equipment. I will draw. Okay, so because you need to know what you need to calculate. So here's a volleyball equipment. So right now, if you pay for 100% of the value without tax, it'd be $78.25. But unfortunately, there is tax. Let me add the tax here in blue. The tax portion is this portion, and that's going to take your 100% to 109.085. Now, if that said how much do you pay in total, how much does Kim pay in total, you'd be looking for this value right here. So you would take 78.25 and multiply that by 1.09085. That's going to give us, and I'll multiply that for you, 78.25 times 1.09085. That's going to take us to $85.40 rounded. 36 cents rounded, sorry. Okay, so that would be this total here would be this value right here. Let me write 85.36. And that value includes, so that would be the price of the equipment plus the tax. So that's what this represents. But it's not what I want. They're asking us how much does she pay in taxes. So the only thing they want to know is what is this blue portion over here? How much? We know what the equipment is. It's $78.25, but I want to know what the tax is. So let me write volleyball equipment. So what is the tax that she's paying? What is this number here? What is the tax? And the tax portion of this, let me erase all this. The tax portion, tax is 9.08%, so let's change that to a decimal. That's your tax. And your tax, well, let's multiply it. That's 9.085% of what? The original value. Well, multiply those two. 78.25 times 0.09085. And your tax is $7.11. Okay, so now that we have our tax, let's see, 7.11. And you notice that when we add 25 and 11 is 36, and this is 85. We get the exact same price. Okay, but the answer to this question, they just want to know what the tax is. They don't want to know what the total is. How much was she charging taxes? And the answer is $7.11. Clark rents a car from one day, $74.50. The companies pay for 22% of the cost. What is the cost for Clark? Okay, so imagine again, bar model. So you go out on a business trip and you rent a car and the total comes out to $74.50. Now you're thinking, oh my God, I have to pay for all that. But your company is really nice and they say, no, we'll pay for 22% of the cost. So they're going to take 20%. They're going to be in charge of this much. So if they pay for 22% of the cost, you're still responsible for 78%. You still have to pay for this. This is you. You pay for that. And this little part over here is the company. So after the company takes care of 22% of the cost, what do you have to pay? You still have to pay for this part right here. So it's 74.5, and the part that you're responsible for is 78%, or 0.78. 74.5 times 0.78 equals, and you're going to be responsible for $58.11 before taxes. 5, Stacy buys a rocking chair. She buys a rocking chair for this amount of money, $D. After fixing it up, she sells it on Amazon. Good girl, make some money. Right, so, and the resale price of the expression, so it's $165D. So she's going to, so let me, I guess, sorry, I forgot to drop the bar model. She goes to a street fair, or where is it? A street fair. And she pays this much, $D. Whatever that is, $5, $100, $50, doesn't matter. That's what's written. So she's going to pay for that. When she resells it, she's going to obviously charge some, right? Sorry, charge a little bit more because she has to make money for the time she spent fixing it, coloring it, etc. And this is how much she charges. She charges 65%, which takes this to 165%. So this is the price that she's selling it for. Okay, right here. Sale price. Let me call that sale price. So if I were to ask you how much did she sell it for, you'd say, oh, that's easy. Take D, what she bought for, and multiply it by 1.65. If you multiply those two, you're going to get this whole value here. Let me highlight it. You're going to get this. Oops, that's not highlighting. Right. So multiplying the original value times 1.65 is going to give you the price of what she paid for plus her profit. So that's what you explain here. Okay, so this includes, so this would be 165 would be the price she paid for at the street fair. She paid for plus her profit, whatever amount she wants to make. In this case, she wants to make 65% more. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. Find the percent of change. So let me just write that. Equals new minus old over old. So in 2019, Rob read 37 books. In 2020, he read 46 books. So in 2020, the most recent one, that would be the new. So let's go 46. The old one is 37 over 37. You can definitely know it's an increase, so our percentage is going to be positive. So let's just, oh, I forgot times 100. Well, 46 minus 37 equals some number divided by 37. And as a as a decimal, we can get 0.24324, etc., etc. If we multiply that 100, we can just move the decimal 2 over. It's 24.32%. So the increase, percentage-wise, he's reading 24.32% more than last year. Okay. Where am I? 7. Carrie spends 20. Okay, so we did this in class. I'll do it again. So she spends 24% of her weekly earnings on yoga classes. So if you think about it, let me draw a bar model. So this is how much she makes. X. All right. So 24% of it. 100 minus 24 is 76. So this is for yoga. 24% she spends on yoga, and this is, I guess, leftover after she spends her money on yoga. So we know that this chunk over here is $125. They're asking you, what's the whole thing? Okay, that's what we want to know. So in class, I said that you can use that percent proportion you learned in 6th grade. Right? Part over total. So in this case, if we use that, 100%, we have 24%. So 24% represents $125. And we're looking for the total here. What does that total? $125 of how much, right, of what her total earnings are for the week. So we can call that X. Cross multiply, we get 125.00 equals 24X, right? We cross multiply these two. And if you divide by 24, X equals, I have no idea, 125.00 divided by 24. So she brought home $520.83. So $125 over 520. That's, and if you divide that, 125 divided by 520.83, you're going to get 0.24, or multiply that by 100, and you get 24%. Okay, so $125 out of 520 is 24 cents. So the other way you could have done it is change this, right, and word it as a question. So 24% of a number, right, is 125. So if you take 24% of a number, which we already know, but in this case, if you didn't know, you would get 125. So what would be that number? Well, 0.24 times x, right? Our mystery number is equal 125. Divide both sides by 0.24, and x would be whatever that number was, 520.83. So I got several ways of doing this. 8. Mr. Cho selling his cloak and dagger. So we can do this in one shot. I bought this for $245.87. I'm going to mark it up. So mark it up means increase, right? I'm going to sell it, so obviously I want to make some profit. So let's see. If I multiply that by this is going to give me the price that the buyer is going to pay without the taxes. So 245.87 times 1.75 equals 430.27. So that's what I'm going to tell the buyer. Hey, buyer, if you want to buy it, it's going to cost you $430.27. He says yes, and now the moment he says yes, he has to pay taxes, right? So 430.27. Now that he's going to pay taxes, what's the taxes? This is the New York City taxes. So again, it's going to be 1.08875, and that should give us that's going to give us his total, 430.27 times 1.08875. It's going to give us 400. So when the buyer pays me, that's how much he would pay. So if you wanted to, you could have just done 245.87 times the increase, the markup, 1.75, and then times 1.08875. 8875, and that should have taken you straight to this. Okay, so if you want to do it in parts, you can. If you want to do it right away, you can too. This is a continuation, right? You can continue one from the other. So you could have done that. Nine. A 2-tank dive, about right. If you ever go diving in your future, it costs about $115. Well, plus equipment, maybe $130. You know, you get the snorkel, the vest, the regulator, you know, etc. The fins. So here's the problem, though. When I tip, I don't tip on the price that includes the tax. I just tip here. And this one you need to do two different calculations. So let me write dive. So the dive is $115. Now I'm gonna pay tax. I'm gonna pay tax on top of 115. So it'd be, let's calculate the tax. 115 times, let's just calculate the tax, 0.052, right? So 115 times 0.052 equals $5.98. So just in taxes, I pay $5.98. Put it 0, 0, 0. Now let's work on the tip. Now I'm going to tip. I'm not going to add these two and then tip on that sum because I'm going to tip the dive master on the dive itself. So the tip is going to be $150. And how much is the tip? 20%. I'm going to give him 20%. What's 115 times? What's 20% of 115? 115 times. It's going to give us $23. So I'm going to tip the dive master $23. Tip 23. When you add those three, it will give us the amount that we spent that particular day. So the total that I'm spending is $143.98. Okay. Larry deposits some money somewhere in the fund. Okay, so this one we need two. So Larry has found a bank or a fund or something that gives him simple interest. So he deposits $40,000 at an interest rate of 0.055, and he's going to leave the money for 24 years. So let's see how much money he makes. 40,000 times 0.055 times 24. When he comes back, 40,000. Hang on, 1, 3 times 0.055 times 24. This is how much money he makes in interest. Okay, so when he comes back, 24 years, he's gonna see in his account the $40,000 that he deposited plus $52,000 in interest. Okay. The other guy, Mo, he found a fund that pays him compound. He's probably gonna make a little bit more. So A equals the principal, 40,000, times 1 plus, what's the interest rate? Same thing, 0.055, and it's compounded quarterly, so 4 times a year. And then over here is 4 times 24, which is 96. So that's what you use to find how much he has in his bank account after 24 years. So again, let's take care of this first. So you would, in your calculator, 0.055 divided by 4, enter, plus 1, enter. I'm going to raise that to the 96th power. And in my calculator, that whole thing gives me 3.709908966. You're going to take that, multiply by 40,000. 1, 2, 3. When he comes back, he's going to have $148,396.36. So let me add these two here from the first. So 40,000 plus 96, 92,800. Uh-oh, battery. Okay, so notice that who has more money? Definitely Mo, we found a fund that pays him compound interest. So what's the difference? You would subtract those two. 148,396.36 minus how much money is in this account? 92,800. And minus 92. Come on, 148,396.36 minus 92,800. So notice that Mo here made 55,593 and 36 cents more money than Larry. That's quite a difference. And he has a premium phone with unlimited service at Verizon because he's a teacher. He gets an 18% discount. That is true, by the way. I don't know if it still holds, but when I was a Verizon customer, I did get, I think, an 18 or 19% discount. I mean, it's T-Mobile. Can't wait to go back to Verizon. Andy has a premium phone service, unlimited, 98.75 because he's a teacher, gets an 18. What is the amount discounted? So here's the thing. If you draw this, 100%. So right now, without the discount, Andy would pay $98.75. Correct? If they take an 18% discount, they take that much away. He's left with 82%. So this is what Andy pays. Now, you have to determine what the question is asking. Are they asking you what Andy is going to be paying or how much was taken away? They're asking you how much they took away. So they took away 18%. So 98.75 times the discount, 18%. And we get to find out how much was taken away. 98.75 times 0.18 equals, so they took away, they discounted $17.78 from $98.75. So this is the discounted. And whatever is left over, when you subtract those two, would be how much Andy pays. But we're not interested in that because nobody asked about it. During Christmas, on certain days, you get a 15% discount and another 10% discount for signing up for the store card. If a winter coat is regular price is $189.40 and the tax rate is 15.5%, what is the final cost? This is probably Canada to have a tax rate so high. So I will do the bar model. So right now, if you had no discount, you'll be paying $189.40. So let's do the first discount, 15%. If they take this 10, 15, you still have to pay for 85%. So let's do the first. 189.4, and you can do it this straight away. Let's figure out what your coat is after a 15% discount. So 189.4 times 0.85, your coat is now 160.99. All right, so I can erase that because that's no longer relevant. I draw another bar model. Now, values have changed. 100% of your coat is now valued at 160.99. But you get a second discount, and this time around, they're going to take 10% away. So let me take 10% away. So which means you have to pay for 90% of that. So 160.99 times 90%, because that's what you're going to be paying. Right, that's your second discount. So now your coat dropped to 144.89. Let me get rid of this, because again, that's no longer relevant to us. So if I draw another bar model, right, everything starts fresh. Now 100% is $144.89. That's what you're going to be paying for, right, after both discounts. Except that now you have a little thing called tax. So to 144.89, unfortunately, we have to add a little bit more. And that's 15.5%, and if you add that to 100, you get 115.5%. That's what you're paying. And this corner here, that price represents what we pay at the cash register. So we're going to go 144.89 times 1.155, and that's going to give us our final price, 0.89 times 1.155, and we end up paying $167.35. If you are okay and you're comfortable, you could have done 189.4 times 0.85, right? And then times 0.9, and then times 1.155, and that should have given you that price. So if you're okay with that, you can do it that way. And I'm just gonna multiply it times 1.155, and like I said, you get 167.349, and that changes to 167.35. So whether you did it this way or in steps, it's really up to you. Ed is a real estate agent. Okay, he recently sold a family house for $2,345,000 in Long Island. He took home a check, right, his commission of $80,902.50. What was the interest rate? Well, commission is percent times sales. He took home $80,902.50. The percent is what I need to find, and the price of the house was $2,345,000. Okay. Divide both sides by $2,345,000. This one's pretty simple. And our percent that he earned was 80,902.5. I forgot the point here. We're going to divide that by 2,345,000, and you're going to get 0.0345. And if you change that, and you change that to percent, that becomes, so his commission, his interest, it was 3.54%, 3.45%. 14. What expression can be used to calculate the price of an item X after a markdown of 38% and a markup of 23%? So you're buying something and it's this much dollars. It goes through a discount, right? So if it's marked down 38, if from 100% you take 38, you're responsible for 62%. So after a markdown 38%, you're going to pay for 62% of the original value. But unfortunately, there's a markup of 23%. So it goes back up 23%. And remember, if it's going up, it's 1 point something. And that's the expression you would use to find out the final price of your item. I didn't eat lunch today. 15, Jerry earns straight commission diamond sales. So again, it's a commission problem. So let's just write C equals percent times sales. Straight commission, which means there's no base salary. So if he sells, he makes money. If he doesn't sell, he earns nothing. Commission is the percent, 0.515. How much in sales? $9,932.45. So he sells diamonds for you. He came into work on Monday. He made that much in sales. Times 0.0515. I forgot a zero here. And that's going to give us that he took home in commission $511.52. All right, that one straight up. 16. Okay, so this is a compound problem. So it's 54,000 deposited. Oops. Okay, so this is the messy problem. All right, so I think I can do it. So he wants to have a total of $875,000 in his account. He puts $54,000 down. The interest rate, we don't know. It's compounded quarterly, so over 4. And then our exponent here is going to be 4 times 28, which I have no idea, is 112. So that's what our expression looks like. It's all the numbers plugged in. So now again, let's get rid of this 54,000. Divide both sides by 54,000. That gets away. My expression gets a little smaller. And have no idea what that is. So 875,000 divided by 54,000 equals, and I'm going to write the whole thing because we want to be precise, 16.2037037. That's what you should have in your calculator or something, okay? Depending on the calculator that you have. Might have a few more digits, but that's what I see on the yellow calculator. Now, you got to get rid of that exponent, so let's raise it to 100. Let's take this 112th root on this side and do the same thing on this side. That and that goes away. I get rid of my exponent, thank God. And on this side, again, it's 112, second function, triangle, right? So in your calculator, you press this one, then this button, and this button. And in your calculator, you should see this, right? Once you go through those 3 steps. And inside, we're going to put that ugly number, 16.2037037. Press enter. And this is what you should have, 1.025180006. Okay, we're going to subtract 1 from both sides, minus 1 here, and obviously, over here, get some room. We're going to be left with 0.251800103006 equals r over 4. We can multiply both sides by 4 or cross multiply, whichever you want. So now I know r equals, enter, times 4, and r equals 0.1007200024, and you can multiply that by 100 or move the decimal 2 over. That fund, in order for him to accomplish that, some fund, some bank, some institution has to pay him 0.07, rounded, okay, we're going to round, 0.10% in interest rate. Okay, so that's that question. 17. Mark puts $9,000 in a savings account. Okay, another compound question. 9,200. 1 plus the interest rate 0.0425. Twice a year is compounded, divided by 2, and the exponent is going to be 2 times 21, which is 42. So this one's pretty easier. Let's figure out the parentheses. 0.0425 divided by 2, enter, plus 1. Okay, 0.0425 divided by 2, enter, plus 1, enter. Raise it to the 42nd power, enter. So everyone here should be looking at this number, 2.4185504616. Now you get to multiply those two, so times 9,200. And Mr. Mark, after 21 years, is going to see this value in his account, 22,250 and 24 cents. That's how much he will see in his account. Okay. Kelsey. So digital cameras on her website. She bought the cameras for $78 each and included a 60% markup to get the selling price. So the nearest dollar, what was the selling price for one camera? All right, so bar model again. She buys a camera. So currently, 78 bucks, but she wants to sell it. She's not going to sell it for $78. She's going to mark it up by 65%. So let's increase this by 65%, which takes us to 165%. This is our sale price. So 78 times, and we want the whole thing, right? We want this whole price from here all the way to here. So therefore, we multiply by 1.65. 78 times 1.65 equals $128.70. That's the sale price. Okay, so we're asking you what was the sale price of the camera. We're not asking you how much did we increase the price, right? From 78, how much? Well, you can find it now, right? 128 divided by 7, 128.70 minus 78, and that would give you how much the increase was, but we want the total. $19. Some room. Some room. Tony and his 4 friends went to lunch. Total bill was before sales tax and tip was $389.33. A sales tax of 8%, and then 18% in tip. All right, so need some room. All right, well, maybe not. Okay, so food. Let me write food over here. Oops. The food. 389.33. We need to figure out what the tax is. We need to figure out what the tip is. And then we can add it up and divide it by however many people, 5 people. Okay, so the tax. Now the tax portion is going to be 389.33. I only want to know what the tax is. I don't want to know what the price of the food plus the tax is, just the tax. So the tax is 8%, or 0.08. So 389.33 times 0.08 is going to give us $31 and I can't see, 15 cents. So that's the tax. The tip. I remember I told you, don't add the food and tax and then find the tip on that sum, right? We want to tip the waiter. I don't want to be called cheap, but we want to tip the waiter on the service that he provided, right? Which in this case is the total of the food and drinks and desserts, etc. And that is 389.33. So the tip is 389.33, and what are we tipping him or her? 18%, 0.18. Let's figure that out. 389.33 times 0.18. So 389.33 times 0.18. So the tip is $70.08. $70.08. So $70.08. Now we can add everything. 389.33 plus 31.15 plus 70.08. Our grand total that we are going to put on our credit card, $490.56. That's a total, and how much did each person pay? How many people are here? Tony is 4 friends, so we can divide this by 5. There are 5 people. So each friend pays $98.11. Okay. 20. Terry estimates that the number of students in junior school, high school, is 1,023 students. The actual number is 1,098. What is the percent of error? So we did that a little bit today. So that one's really simple. It's measured, right? Minus actual. Did I write actual? Over actual. I think I used those words. And the absolute value. So the measured, he estimated, or the estimation here is 1,023. The actual number of students in school was 1,098. Let's subtract that and take the absolute value, and then 1,098. So that's going to give us 1,023 minus 1,098 equals negative 75. Take the absolute value, that's 75. Over 1,098. Let's divide, and then that's going to give us 0.06830. Sorry, I forgot to multiply that by 100. I'll move the decimal over twice to the right. 6.83. So the percent of error in Terry's estimate was by 6.83%. 21 wild dogs. What? The number of wild dogs at a park was 85 2 years ago. In 2021, the number grew by 28%. In 2022, the number decreased by 9%. What is the current wild dog park population? Okay, so let's do it the quick way. We know there were 85 dogs. If If it grew by 28%, it's 1.28, right, for that year. And then the next year it decreased by 9%, which means we're at now 91% of that total. So 85 times 1.28 times 0.91. So there are 99. Now this is an interesting answer because I get this in my calculator. We can't have 99.008 wild dogs. Do we round this to 100? Yeah, because that's such a tiny number. Well, hopefully on your test you won't have an ambiguous answer like that, because actually I think the correct answer would be 100, right? So 100 wild dogs. Let's do this in parts. So right now, or 2 years ago, the population was 85 wild dogs. Okay. In 2021, that number grew by 20%. So we're going to take this and increase it. So the number of wild dogs increased by 28%. So if I wanted to find this number here, right, the increase, it would be 85 times 1.28. 85 times 1.28, and that's going to give us 108. So we're going to come to problems here. So 108.8 wild dogs is 109. So let's see if this works. So in 2021 it grew, so now we have 109 wild dogs. Right? So we need a new bar model, so that's 2021. In 2022, let's draw a new bar model. 0, 100%. Now 100% of the wild dogs is 109 wild dogs. And in 2022, we lost some for whatever reason. It decreased by 9%. So that population decreased, and it went from 100% to 91%. So it's 91%. But this is what I'm interested in. What is 91% of 109? So 109 times 0.91, and let's see what our number is. 109 times 0.91. That gives us 99.19, which we are going to round to 100. So there you go. Very close. 100 wild dogs. 22. Gina's purchase before tax was 87.34, and I'm getting hungry. After taxes was, the total was 97.24. What was the tax rate? Okay, so you can use percent change here to find your tax rate. This is the new, this is the old. So 97.24 minus 87.34 over 87.34. So let's do that. 97.24 minus 87.34 equals 9.9. And if you divide those, divide by 87.34, we get 0.11335, etc., 0126. We're not going to need all those. So we change that to percent. Move the decimal over by 2 or multiply that by 100, we get 11.34%. So the tax rate was 11.34%. If you can rephrase this into a question where you can change it to an equation, you could have done that one as well. But this is less complicated, I think. Okay. 23. Price of an item Y is marked down by 22%. What is the price of the item? So again, bar model. 0, 100%. So right now the price is Y dollars. Okay. So if they take away 22%, 10, 20, 21, 22, you're left with 78%. So they're asking you, what is the price of the item? This is what they're asking this side, not the discount, but they're telling what are you responsible for? You're responsible for 78%. So how would we calculate it? Well, we would take Y, the price of the item, times 0.78, and whatever number that gives us would be our answer. Okay. Okay, Super Sports is offering a 20% discount on the shoes, which were originally at $45.80, and then sales tax is applied on the discount price, which is the cost of one pair, including discount and tax. So, hopefully by now, you can do this the quicker way. So, $45.80 after a discount of 20%, that means I have to pay for 80% of the shoes. And then after that, I have to apply taxes. And the taxes is going to be 1.06. 45.80 times 0.8 times 1.06. And our final price was $38.84. I'll do this the bar model. But if you want to do it, if you can do it this way, perfect. Bar model. 0, 100%. Right now, my shoes are $45.80. If they take 20% off, I still have to pay for 80% of the shoes. All right, this is what I'm going to pay. The discount, right? So what is 80% of 45.80? So you would go 45.80 times 0.80. So after the discount, the sneakers or shoes comes down to $36.64. Okay. Now that bar model does not apply anymore. Let's take this. Let's draw a new one. So 100% of the shoes now is $36.64. So this is what I'm paying for. This is after the discount. But we have to pay tax, so our price is going to go up a little bit. I'm going to add 6%, so our 100% becomes 106%. What is this price here, which is the price of the shoe, right, plus the tax? And that would be 106%, or 1.06, times 36.64. 1.06 times 36.64, and that gives us $38.84. I think that might be a 1 penny difference. Okay, and that's because of the rounding. Okay. Actually, oh, okay, hang on. So, home improvement store sold wind chimes for $70 each. Custom signed up for a free membership card and got 35% discount, and then sales tax of 5%. 5% is applied after discount. What's the final price of the wind chime? So again, a little bit repetitive by now. Thinking of, hang on a second. All right, so the really more direct way, right? $70 times the discount, which means if you take 5% off, I have to pay for 95% of the item still. And then if you add taxes to it, it'd be 100% of the item plus 5%, which takes me to 1.05. $70 times 0.95 times 1.05 equals, I would be paying $69.83 at the register. I'll do the bar model, which is 70. So 100%. So right now I have to pay for $70. That's the shoes. But if they take 5% out, right, that's how much I'm paying. This is what I'm paying after the discount for 95%. So $70 times 0.95. That's going to give me $66.05. So with the little discount, I'm paying this much. Draw another bar model. So now my 100% of my value now is 66.5. So I'm going to pay for all this. And I have to pay for a little bit more, 5% more. So that's going to take me to 105%. And that's what I need. I need that price here. That's 105% of 66.5. So you take 66.5 times 1.05 and 66.5 times 1.05, and that's going to give me $69.83. So that's how much I would be paying at the register. Okay. Oof. I'm not forgetting. I'm going to give you a title. Let me go back. So, I'm gonna hide it in this corner. Bonus word. Okay, wonderful book. And finally, 26. Really? Wow. What was I thinking? 15 out of 26. You got 15 out of 26. So I'm going to do it I'm going to do it two ways. One, you can divide 15 by 26. Right? 15 divided by 26 is 0.576923, etc. So they're probably going to be a multiple choice. You round this, move this 2 over, you get 57.69%. That up in your score on your pupil path. If you want to use a percent proportion, right? Think about this as part, total, 100%, and this would be, 100, right? And out of 100. So let me write the percent here. So 15 is the part, 26 is the total. You can put x over here. You can cross multiply. So you get 1500 equals 26x. Divide both sides by 26. And you get 1500 divided by 26. And notice that you get the same number, 57.69%. So either way, obviously just do it this way because it's much simpler, and that's your review.